With the end of the 1930s and beginning of the 1940s came the Second World War. Every last bit of it was tragic for Britain. Stations and homes were destroyed, and multiple were killed or injured. Those still alive had no choice but to evacuate. The railways just couldn't catch a break from the common sights of German aircrafts and bombings. Residents were all filled with nothing but dread. The Northwestern Railway did not have it as bad, but that didn't mean everything there was just fine. While there had yet to be any air raids or bombings on Sodor, everyone was hard at work transporting war material across the island. From the early hours of the mornings to the late evenings, supplies were delivered from the docks at Tidmouth to other places by rail or sea. Loading and unloading trains and ships was a struggle. Employees broke their backs day after day, often pulling all-nighters. No one could wait for the war to end. It was early one evening when Casey returned to the sheds. He had just taken a heavy train all the way to Vickerstown and was exhausted. In 1939, he had volunteered to help the British War Department and as a precaution was repainted black. He was the only Sodor engine who could migrate to and from Sodor. He had been working himself into the ground, and now it was nice to have a rest. For a short while at least.
Good evening, Casey. How are things?
Not good. As you know, I've been unable to help the War Department since Barrow and Furness was bombed. I know they're missing me. All I've been able to do for 3 months is deliver supplies to Vickerstown, and that's a likely Nazi target. I know I always said that I would not give up until the war was over, but it doesn't seem like the war will end anytime soon. If the Germans keep raiding Britain at this rate, it will be theirs by next year.
That can't happen. The British have a strong army and are very capable. Sure, the battles of Britain have taken a toll on many, but they've stayed strong. Besides, we're strong too.
You're not wrong. When I worked on the Big Four, people were loading explosives, guns, and other war materials aboard ships bound for other countries. They're doing the same thing here. That's dangerous seamanship. Let's just hope those vile war items don't end up at the wrong harbors. Fucking Nazis. If I get near them, I swear there'll be hell to pay.
Why do you think he called all of us here?
Probably something to do with the war. What else could it be?
That'll do, Casey. Tomorrow, there are going to be larger trains for all of you to carry. Some trains consist of passengers, while others consist of equipment for war. Gordon, James, and Henry will be in charge of pulling evacuation trains, while Thomas, Edward, and Casey are going to handle war material. Percy will be in charge of running the Farquhar branch line. Everyone will have to get up earlier tomorrow. I expect all of you to work very hard. The future of the NWR depends on the hard work of all of you.
We won't let you down, sir. We'll be the best engines of Britain.
Hear, hear! Excellent. Now, get lots of rest, everyone.
I won't fail anyone. Not like I failed all of my friends on my old line. I'll be damned if I screw up again. My friends will be safe. I swear on my life.
All right, you two. Casey, you and I will handle the munitions. Thomas, you will be in charge of the fuel train. I'll go in front and make sure the line is clear. Listen carefully for any suspicious noises. If you see anything that looks like a German army plane, hide in a tunnel and put out your fires immediately.
Understood.
Got it. Thank goodness. A good night's sleep is just what I need.
Is that an American aircraft?
No. It's a German one.
Shit! Just when things couldn't be worse!
I'll take care of it. You three keep the fire under control.
No! If that thing blows, you'll die!
I'll be fine. Whatever happens to me, just keep moving and stay strong.
Casey, please be careful.
Shit! This thing's blistered badly. Fuck, it's going to explode! I've got to move!
Percy, we need you here. But Casey might need our help. Stay where you are. Casey, please be okay.
If Casey had not been so brave that night, Titmouth Harbour would have been in a worse state than ever, and valuable lives would have been lost. It was dawn when Thomas and Percy came to Casey's aid. When they saw Casey's sorry state, they were heartbroken. The damage had been done. It was dreadful, devastating even. The force of the explosion had knocked him unconscious, nearly killing him. He was sent to crew for repairs. Everyone else, despite being left in suspense, carried on with their duties. However, the absence of Casey made work a lot harder. All the engines were depressed, some more than others. Other engines came and went and pulled their weights, but it just wasn't the same without Casey. I'm sorry to say that, by the end of the Second World War, the engines had given up hope that Casey would return and believed that he was lost forever. A memorial was held at the big station after the war ended.
From the day he was saved from scrap and brought to our yard to the present day, Casey has always been nothing less than a really useful engine. He was always hard-working, loyal, brave, forgiving, and determined. He was a true Northwestern engine. What we will forever remember, however, is that it is because of Casey that Thomas, Edward, and Percy are still here. He did not die in vain. Rather, he died in a sad but honorable death, and will forever be missed dearly.
I let Casey down. Why? Because I didn't save him. Thomas and I discovered him all those years ago, and we convinced him to stay. Only just to let him perish in the end. Now he's nothing but a memory. I wish he was still here with us. Percy, it was you and Thomas who saved Casey's life. You two are the reason he decided to give life a second chance in the first place. He would not have gotten so far without both of you. Besides, he would have gladly put himself in grave danger for any of us. It doesn't matter who. James, Gordon, anyone. Even if he isn't with us right now. I'm sure he's happy wherever he is. You did nothing wrong, Percy. Don't put yourself down. Thank you, Edward. Your words have truly helped me. You're welcome, Percy. Anytime.
After the day of the memorial, Percy felt better. Despite the hardships that everyone had been through, it seemed like everything was going to be okay, and life on Sodor would return to normal. I'm pleased to say that there would be many changes to the Northwestern Railway in the years following. New engines would arrive. Some would be a pleasure to meet, and some not so much. There are many more stories to tell, but now's a good time to conclude.